Hello, I'm back again. I'd like to talk about construction versus distraction. When we're thinking about things we want to do, the first thing we think about is what's wrong with the things that are going on around us because we want change. And because we want change, we want things to be done in the best way possible. So we sit down and we think about all the things we've done in our lives. We think about the ups and downs of the interactions with people we've thought will help us and show us what to do. And of course, in whatever way we try, we always find ourselves saying in some way, this is hard, this is very difficult. And it's very easy to procrastinate and make excuses and really sit on the fence and not ask yourself in any way, shape, or form if there is an answer. So, are you one of those people who is sitting at home, feeling miserable, wishing that someone would come into your life and rescue you? Now, that might be a Prince Charming scenario where you, as a woman, believe that a young man, bright, strong, powerful, independent, is going to come, sweep you off your feet, carry you off into the sunset, and then what happens? Settle down, build a house, get a mortgage, do whatever you have to do. And before you know it, suddenly you're thinking, my Prince Charming isn't so clever. He's not on the ball. He's not figuring out all the flaws and all the mistakes and all the things that have gone on in my life. And I feel I'm let down. I feel I'm not fulfilled by the many things that I expected to happen. So you start questioning, you start pushing, start asking for more. And slowly you start to realize that the more you push and ask for more, the more you're driving Prince Charming away, who's now, in your mind, just regular Joe, who's not really Superman at all. What about if you're on the other side of the fence and you're the guy? And you're thinking, I need a woman in my life who'll love me, honor, respect me, and really appreciate me for all the things that I've done in life. I want to be inspired by her. I want to be stimulated, that I feel my manhood, and therefore I'm really ready to go out there in the world and start a business and do all sorts of things. And I see my plans and I see everything working, and off you go. And as you start to do all the things, the pressure comes from home, new babies arrive, extra expenses. As you start to plan the business and do everything you can, you start to realize, hey, the pressure's on. I've got to be Superman. And I can't find the Superman in myself. I'm just doing what I can do the best way I know. And as I do it, I feel less and less Superman, more and more regular Joe, and given time, not accepted. Well, that's the basis of what a lot of marriages go through. And unfortunately, a lot of times they lead to divorce. Marriage is a state of construction and destruction. Daily, things happen where you think you're going to build something. Maybe it's just a phone call out of the blue when someone's asking you to do something that you really need to do because you want to support them. But at the same time, it means you have to let down someone else because you're too busy to do both at the same time. Maybe you're at work and you are counting on some client who's going to employ you for a job, and right at the last minute, they cancel and your balloon is burst. What are you going to do next? That's a moment of distraction. There are many things in our lives that cause us to feel that life is not worth living for. We get depressed, we get miserable, We think life should be just a continuation of joys and pleasures. But if they were, you would not be challenged. You would not be thinking about alternatives. You would not be thinking about the impact that what you do has on other people. Well, you might say there are some people you've met who seem to be selfish. They push for what they want. They don't give up. They have that dynamic dream. They are always in a positive mode, saying, even if something negative happens, that's a learning curve and something I need to look at, analyze, think about, and then come up with a conclusion. And from that conclusion, move on, find something else to do. But for others, that seems very difficult, especially when you've spent so long working on whatever your plan is to try and get it to manifest as perfectly as it can be. And you put energy, effort, and time into trying to keep on building. But the problem is maybe you're building on quicksand. Maybe as you try to build higher and higher, it seems you're sinking lower and lower. And yes, that is destructive. It's destructive for your heart, it's destructive for your mind, and it's certainly destructive for your body because your body gets stressed, full of tension, anxiety, and worry. But what is the core reason you're suffering this way? Because right in the beginning, maybe you found Prince Charming or Princess, tried to save her from the tower, or expected him to carry you on his shoulders high above all dangers, only to find out that you must be responsible for all that you do, for all that you say, for all that you think, for all that you feel, and for every reaction that you go through. So you can't blame someone else in your life for not being 100% aware of all that you think, all that you feel, and all that you do. Only you are inside yourself, looking out through your eyes, listening with your ears, speaking with your mouth, moving your body around. So it's up to you to be the one who comforts yourself, loves yourself, honors yourself, and gives yourself permission to construct a new way to see the world, a new way to do things. So if something's not working out for you right now, it's important to understand very clearly that a smile on your face, an opportunity when it arises, is there not to test you, but to give you a chance, a choice to see yourself from a different point of view. So let's put it this way simply. Let's say your job is to make rice bowls every day of your life. I've been by saying rice bowls, getting some rice, putting some fish inside, wrapping it into seaweed, and then marketing it. But then you find out there are hundreds of other people making rice bowls, and theirs might be a little bit more tasty than yours. Do you still make the same rice bowl and put the same filling inside? If you're a Westerner and you're used to making sandwiches, do you always have to make cheese sandwiches? Is there an opportunity now to make a different flavor, use a different kind of filling, make your own secret sauce? Be inventive, be creative. A sandwich, whether you're in Japan or in England, is just a sandwich until you make it something more. But maybe you're sick and tired of making sandwiches. Maybe you're ready to try something else. Now, if you want to go back to school, be excited about that. When you were a child, people said, you have to learn this. You must do geography. You must do history. Whatever it was, you have to get an A. Get a B, well, not so good. I'm 73 now, and I can tell you that I have forgotten 99.9% of everything I learned in school. What I did use was what I knew I wanted to use right from the beginning, which was anatomy, biology, and I wanted to know why for everything. That was the beginning of my interest in psychology. And I knew at a very young age that I was going to be a healer, a lecturer, a teacher, an author, and whatever else I've done. So I'm not disappointed with my life. But has it been easy? Of course not. There have been many times when I've been exasperated, depressed, stressed, lost, and so on. But through it all, my psyche, my sensitivity to myself was always there uppermost saying, why am I reacting the way I am? Why am I sticking to old plans and routines? Why am I feeling lost and forgotten? And then I'd find my answers. And the answer was always the same. Change the way you see things. Change the way you feel. Recognize that construction is your creative, artistic talents and skills that you can use in any way, shape, or form. So over my life, I've been on television, I've had my own TV shows, I've had my own radio shows in different countries. I've been interviewed with different languages, with interpreters. I've taught in different countries. I've written books. And yes, I sew, knit, paint, art, decorate, do whatever I want to do. Because every single thing I've done has shown me that there's a little bit more of me I didn't know about. And yes, I'm still exploring. And I'm still doing things. And yes, I still get frustrated, but I know that that frustration stimulates me to try harder. I've been studying the brain for the last 5 years with a view to teaching people just how our brain controls our entire body. Most of us think about the heart and the liver, but without your brain, well, you wouldn't be creative, you wouldn't be inventive, and you certainly wouldn't be destructive. So recognize that you need to go in phases of construction and destruction. In other words, you build up who you are, and there comes a time in your life when you need to let whatever you've been doing go and be destructive. Destroy that, push it away, but keep the lessons that you've learned. They're your strength, they're your power, they're your dynamic you that you can then apply to something new when you start. And accept that it is a challenge. And accept that you can go to school now by your choice because you're interested. You're not made to go. You can go freely and study anything you want to study. And because you're interested, you're going to learn quickly and find that learning is easy. And once you understand that you enjoy what you're doing, your motivation, your drive, your ambition kicks in. And once again, you feel you're on a roadway towards construction of something that will change your life. Don't be afraid to change your life. Don't be afraid you'll lose people. If you do lose anyone, it's because they see a difference in you that is not part of their life. They'll move away, they'll have other interests, and so will you, and gracefully you'll drift apart. And you'll have fond memories of them because they were in your life at a time when you needed them. A time maybe when you were destroying some of the old things that you believed so adamantly that you now know are not important. Whatever you're trying to do in some way, it is a reflection of the whole of this planet. People all over this world right now are saying, I don't want things to be the same. Why? Because we're in the second spiritual age now. Since 2008, people called it the shift, but it is, in fact, a new age, the Aquarian age, a spiritual age, an age of understanding. It's no longer an age of the Piscean age of conquering holding, owning, belonging. It's about independence, freedom of spirit, freedom to share all that you are and know that people will not destroy you. The only person that will destroy you is you. So here we are in the time of terror, the time of people doing bad things around the world. What they're saying is, my action now is to destroy what was. There are also a lot of light workers around who are saying my action is to construct what will be. So what do you want to do? Do you want to destroy something that's not working for you? Take a deep breath, look at it all, ask yourself, what have I learned? And then recognize that you can take those lessons and move them into something much more fulfilling. Get out, meet people, ask people, what do you do? Who do you know? I'd like to know your friends. I'd like to come with you to events. I'd like to expand my world. I'd like to see more, hear more, feel more, and be like a baby, eyes open wide, ears flapping, asking questions. And the more you integrate with people, the more you show interest in who they are and what they do, the more they're going to know and understand you and ask you questions. And you'll be able to share your wisdom in the best way that you know how to help the world reconstruct itself in a new dynamic way. Yes, we have to save this planet by not tearing it apart. There are many people now working on ways to do that. Support those movements, help those people, instead of burying your head in the sand saying, I don't know what to do, I'm so miserable and depressed. Lift up your eyes and see this world, the beauty of it, the beauty of the people. It's not about race. It's not about whether we've intermarried or not. It's not about our history. It's about today. We are mingling our blood. We are mingling our minds and hearts. We are mingling our spirits. And together we are creating ascended souls. Angels look down upon us with joy and glee, knowing that we are beginning to understand that we are part of the oneness. A very long time ago, when I was a very young medium in my very early 20s, I spoke about the oneness in the spiritualist churches in England. People asked me, what was it? I taught what it was, but even then I didn't truly understand it. Today I do. I have a book called Journey into an Unknown World, The Way to Oneness, which is a study book if you're that interested. And I have a book here I'd like to share with you. I've shown a video before on it. This is Quantum Entanglement. It's taking Einstein's theory. It is something in the photon world is separated into two parts, that when you interfere with one part, it will affect the other part. What I've written here is the paranormal point of view on that. You'll learn in this how you are a part of all that is in the oneness, and how you are affected by what other people do. Now, you might say, I know that because I've got families who are all tearing me apart with their emotional ideas, things that they're doing, and so on. But actually, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a connection with people you don't even know. For example, you might be walking down the street and suddenly you get a sharp pain right here in your shoulder, and you think, oh, it must be my purse on my shoulder. And then the pain lessens, and over time you've forgotten it. What you don't know is that you've just experienced the pain of someone being shot in their shoulder. Or maybe you find yourself shouting at someone for no apparent reason. You just suddenly get into a temper tantrum. And you ask yourself, why did I do this? Well, maybe you were picking out someone else, somewhere else in this planet, who's yelling and screaming getting to the point of almost being violent, and you're sharing that moment so that you quieten them down, soften them down, let off some of their steam through your being. That's oneness. It's sharing emotions, it's sharing creative artistic talents, it's sharing inventions, ideas. Yes, the oneness gives us all the opportunity to do the same thing at the same time. But the way we bring it down to the earth is through our personality and our character. And what we bring out of ourselves is our point of view on how the oneness has given us something to use. You can see this right now in healers across the world. They are bringing into your consciousness the allopathic work, much as it may seem to have helped in the past with medicines, is now poisoning us. So people all over the world are studying the old ways, looking at plants, herbs, and looking at the way that we can do energy work, healing work with different modalities. Again, I have many videos on my crystal therapies and psychology and psychiatry. So if you've enjoyed listening to me here, I would like you to subscribe so that whenever I do a video on YouTube, you'll be one of the first to know that I've done it. So please do share these videos and subscribe, and do take a look at my website, www.sumariscenter.com. That's spelled below this video. And yes, I do like comments on how you've enjoyed the video, or even if you think I missed something or wanted to know something else, write to me. My email address is drmargaretrvc@gmail.com. I do answer all emails from that address. You'll find that on my website too. So thank you for listening. I hope I've helped you today to recognize that it's okay to destroy what was and then construct what will be. So change, adapt, modernize, become someone who's going with the flow of life, and you'll find the joy and pleasure that you're seeking. Thank you for listening to me. Bye. Have to find a way to put it up. Bye.